Yep, guys, I've been there. I know what it's like. I was skinny in the past too. First 15 years of my life, I was super skinny and I didn't start building muscle until I was like 16, 17. I've also been overweight. I've been fat too, and I've gone up and down. I've been overweight, I've been skinny, and I've gone up and down, and I've done those transformations multiple times. And I've done that without drugs, completely drug free. And I've also helped other countless people do the same thing. I've helped young guys who are skinny, natural, trying to put on drug free muscle. I've helped them put on muscle. And I've also helped some people who are fat too lose weight as well. I've been lifting for 15 years, and I've also got a decade of research on this topic. Weight training, nutrition, diet, training, everything in between, recovery, everything. But in today's video, I want to talk about how to build significant, lasting, natural muscle. I want to help you gain some confidence, some strength, some pride. I want you to be happy and excited about your physique. The plan for the video is to kind of cut the fluff out, cut out all the noise. I want to go over some mistakes that young, natural, natty lifters tend to make. We'll go over some effective, sustainable paths that you can take instead. I want to help you get the results that you deserve. I know what it's like to be in the gym for hours and not feel like you're making any progress, feel like your wheels are spinning. I know it's super easy to be confused by all this information out there as well too. There are so many fitness gurus out there, and it's hard to know who to trust, especially when they've all got different conflicting information. It sucks to be called skinny, sucks to be called skinny fat. That really messes up your confidence. On top of that, I know what it's like to be afraid to bulk and feel like you're going to get too fat. I like to call that squishy gains. That sucks too. I know what it's like, and I've also had multiple clients tell me that it sucks sometimes in social situations from being so skinny because they don't want to go to the pool, they don't want to go to the beach because they take off their shirt and they're the freaking skinniest guy there, and that sucks too. I know what that's like. But I want you to imagine waking up, liking how you look in the mirror, feel like you've got unshakable confidence, you're not afraid to take your shirt off anymore, your clothes fit tight and look good on you, you feel strong and capable. I want you to imagine that. That is pretty much the goal of this video, so let's get right into it. We're going to go through it really quickly. So let's keep going, let's get right into it. Just a quick shout out, if you like this kind of information and you're looking for more, I've got tons more like it. It's in the link in the description below. Feel free to check that out. So let's get into it. I want to go over two things today. Number one being the laughter, why they doubted natural gains. And number two, the grind, how natural muscle actually happens. So let's go over the first thing. A lot of issues, a lot of things that guys hear is that you're too skinny, you're never going to grow, you're going to be skinny forever, you're a twig. Natural, you're trying to put on muscle naturally. Yeah, good luck with that. A lot of the population just thinks it's not possible for some reason. A lot of the population thinks in order to get big and put on like real natural muscle that looks good on a physique, like you got to be on steroids. I don't know where that came from or where that notion came from, but that is not the truth. There are plenty of guys out there who can put on real muscle, put on some decent size as like a young, natural, skinny guy. Now, you're not going to freaking look like Dwayne The Rock Johnson unless you've been lifting for maybe 30 years as a natural with just complete dedication the entire time. But it's definitely possible to look like a lot of these actors you see in movies, like your Brad Pitt, Batman, Christopher Nolan, not Christopher Nolan, that's the director, Christian Bale, what's the guy, Henry Cavill. Like a lot of those guys, they look good and they're not super huge. Like that's definitely attainable as a natural. Another issue is the common belief that muscle comes easy or you need drugs to do it. That is also not the case. If you want to build natural, real muscle as a young, natural, skinny guy, like it's going to take some work. You're not just going to be able to switch up your physique within a month or two. Like you have to put in the time, the dedication, and you actually got to work for it. Like it's hard, but it's also definitely worth it. And I promise you, you'll feel 100% better after. Like looking back, like I'm so proud of myself for going to the gym over these last 15 years. And although I've skipped workouts, I've skipped countless workouts, I've even taken breaks as long as like a year off of lifting, and looking back, I was always happy and always proud that I spent the time to go to the gym, and I promise that you will feel better too. So what are the steps to get over this? Number one is to overcome external noise. Basically what that means is to block out everybody that isn't helping you achieve your goals. So if you got friends or family that are like putting you down for going to the gym, like why are you going to the gym, you're wasting your time, you're never going to be that big, like either cut those people out because they're not helping you achieve your goals and they're not happy for you for wanting to achieve something in your life, Or if you can't cut them out, like if they're family, just ignore them. Like, you don't have to listen to them, completely ignore everything they say, and just keep working towards your goals and keep working forward. The other thing is to trust the process. As a young, natural, skinny guy, your results aren't going to be instantaneous. Like, you're going to need to spend time in the gym, spend time cooking, spend time eating correctly, spend time learning the ins and outs of how to properly train as a young, natural, skinny guy. And it's going to take some time and it's going to be a process, but I promise you it will all be worth it in the end. So trust the process, keep moving forward, keep learning, keep going to the gym, keep asking questions, keep learning what you can do better. And I promise you it'll all be worth it in the end. Personally, for me, my early days of working out, a lot of people told me I was skinny. They made fun of me for being skinny. And a lot of times people would make fun of me for going to the gym too. And like I said, those people just don't want you to succeed. They get jealous of seeing you trying to win and actually seeing you trying to achieve something. Like I said, just ignore those people. Those people have nothing going on in their lives, and the only thing that makes them happy is to put other people down. Another issue was just getting over the advice of people just telling me to just eat more. Like when I was first getting started in working out and trying to put on size, like when I was still skinny, I would ask people for questions. I would ask people questions about how to get bigger, and a lot of the answers were just eat more. And although that information is slightly true, it's also slightly wrong, because eating more is how you actually put on muscle and get stronger and get gains in the gym, but there's a science to it. You can't just eat more. You actually need to learn how much to eat in order to grow. There's a thing out there called maintenance calories, and it's the amount of calories that your body burns every day in order to maintain its current weight. So for my example, I'm currently 180 pounds. There's a certain number of calories that I could eat every single day that is called my maintenance calories. And if I eat that amount, I'm not going to go up in weight. I'm not going to go down in weight. I'm going to stay the same size. So if you do want to grow, you need to learn how to properly track your maintenance calories and figure out what that amount is. And you need to figure out exactly how much more to eat in order to grow. Like, you can't just take the advice of just eat more, because if you're not tracking your calories, you don't truthfully know how many calories you're eating. And that's a number that you need to know if you do want to grow. Okay, let's move on. Number 2, the grind, how natural muscle actually happens. Couple things here is that there's a lot of unseen consistency. In order to actually see growth and see muscle gains as a young natty guy, you need to be consistent with your time in the gym. You can't be skipping workouts. If you do skip workouts, your gains are going to be significantly slower. So try to stay on schedule. Do your best to go to every gym session that you need to go to. The other thing is strategic overload. This is another thing that a lot of young natural guys have trouble with, have issues with when it comes to seeing gains. Strategic overload is basically progressive overload, and is something that is absolutely essential to your growth if you want to see real muscle gains as a young natural skinny guy. Progressive overload is basically when you go to the gym, you either have to focus on getting stronger, being able to do more weights, more reps, or more sets, or shorten your rest periods between sets. If you can focus on those things, as well as make sure your time in the kitchen is dialed in as well, then I promise you will see results. Time in the kitchen is basically relentless nutrition as well. Like, basically it's just a couple things. You need to make sure that you're getting enough calories every day in order to grow. You need to make sure that you are hitting your protein intake goal every day as well. Drink water. Stay hydrated. If you're going to take caffeine, you need to time your caffeine properly to make sure you're getting the best out of it and the most usefulness out of it for your workouts, that type of thing. All of that is takes a part in seeing gains. Like, it's not just about your training, it's about your time spent in the kitchen as well. Unwavering mindset. This is another thing we touched on a little bit in the first step. But if you don't have the right mindset for this, I promise you're just going to give up too early, and you're not going to see the results that you actually want. So developing discipline, developing a system that works for you, and developing good mindset is one of the core things that you need in order to, if you really want to see gains as a young, natural, skinny guy. This is another thing that you have to work on too as well. So what are some steps here that you can take to solve this? Have a couple daily actions that you can rely on to help build your discipline. So these are small things, like every day in the morning, make sure you drink a bunch of water. If you go to the gym every day, I would say something like figure out your gym clothes for the next day, so you know exactly what you're going to wear. You're not spending that time in the morning trying to figure it out. Like, you just throw your clothes on and go. have your shoes at the door ready to go. Like if you bring equipment to the gym, have a gym bag ready. Either have it in your car or have it ready by the door so that you're not packing your gym bag. Some other things too, like if you have trouble making sure you get enough protein in every day. One of the things I used to do is carry I always have a shaker bottle in my car, and I always carry a bag of protein in my car too, like one of the big bags or one of the big tubs. That way, if I ever need a protein shake, I just go to my trunk, I throw some water in my bottle, put some protein powder in there, and shake that thing, and I'm ready to go. These are just other things you can do to help make discipline easier and make some daily actions easier as well too. The other thing is to push past plateaus. Plateaus are completely normal. They happen all the time for natural lifters. That's totally okay. Pushing past plateaus is a natural. There's a couple things you need to focus on. If you're getting stuck with the weights, you feel like your weights and your strength isn't going up in the gym, either you need to up your calories, or you need to make sure you're sleeping more, make sure you're properly recovering on your recovery days, on your rest days. You need to either increase your volume. That can help too, because if you increase your volume, you're demanding more from the muscle. So you might not be challenging the muscle enough in order for it to grow and actually elicit like a response to actually start growth. So that could be something you can work on too. Let's go over some stories. Quiet dedication, month after month. This is something I focused on too as early in my career. Once I got hooked on to lifting, like I started to actually see results, that's when the dedication and motivation started to get really easy. Because once you see results, I promise you this whole thing gets so much more fun. Like you start to love going to the gym. You start to love the feeling of the pump. You love the feeling of looking in the mirror and seeing what your pump looks like. And that's when the dedication becomes super easy, because before you know it, months and months will go by and you'll realize that you just spent 6 months in the gym and it was completely easy and time just flew by. Another thing too is that when I finally did start to put on real muscle and real size, a lot of people started to notice, and it's shocking to them because they didn't think. A lot of people think you can't do it, and a lot of people are shocked at how fast it can actually happen too as well. Like I put on a lot of size the first 6 months of me lifting and taking this shit seriously, and it's cool. It's fun. It's fun to see people's responses and be like, "Wow, you put on you look big. Like, what have you been doing?" And like early in my career, I had people ask me like, "Dude, are you on steroids?" And it's funny hearing that from like these other normies out there who don't lift and who don't know like what a proper training regimen looks like. So that kind of thing is funny, and I promise you'll get that too if you take this seriously and you do the right steps and learn the right knowledge in order to like actually put on real drug-free muscle as a young, natural, skinny guy. So that's it. I guess we can do a quick recap real quick and what your next step could be. We went over some core ideas, like we went over why people doubt natural gains and how natural muscle actually happens. You've got hopefully a clear path forward now, and you can use those tips that we went over to help you in your current gym life, whatever you do your day to day. But that's not everything you need. Absolutely, if you do want to take this shit seriously and you really want to see results, I have a complete A to Z program. It's literally dedicated for young, skinny, natural guys who are trying to put on drug-free muscle. So if that sounds like you, definitely check it out. I go over things like nutrition. I have modules on mindset and recovery as well. On top of that, you'll get private, exclusive access to my school community where you'll get coaching and accountability from me and other people as well. There's no hidden fees. Everything is included. There's guaranteed consistency. You'll get ongoing support from me. So if you need to reach out to me, you can shoot me a text or hit me up in the DMs or post something in the school community, and I always read all the posts there. So it's a super easy way to get access to me. You do save tons of money too, because you're not paying for all these separate trainers and all these different coaches. Like there's coaches who teach nutrition, teach mindset, teach recovery, and you can pay for each one of those individually. It'll cost you hundreds to even thousands of dollars, or you can buy it all in one place for a way cheaper price. So if that sounds cool, that sounds interesting, feel free to check it out. I'll put a link in the description below where you can schedule a call with me. We can do a one-on-one training session where we could go over a couple different ways that I could help you out, that type of thing. That sounds fun. That sounds interesting. Sounds like something you want to do. It's completely free. Feel free to check it out. I'll put the link in the description below. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.